Hello guys, and welcome to today's video. And today's video is going to be just the most unbelievable class setup for the most underrated gun in the entire Modern Warfare. And if today's gameplay doesn't do it justice, I don't know what does. But today's video is basically, I went out of my way to try the AUG without the 5.56 ammo conversion, okay? And the class setup I went for to do this was this. The muzzle is the compensator, the barrel is a 622mm long barrel, the laser being the tac laser, the underbarrel being the commando foregrip, and finally the 32 round mags for the ammunition. And the reason I went and did this is because people have said the only way to use the AUG is with the 5.56 ammo conversion, and today's gameplay and today's class setup proves that is not the case. You can use the AUG like the way it was supposed to be used, which is an SMG. You know, this gun is in the SMG category for a reason, and today's gameplay, which is a 104, that's right, let me say it again, 104 and 7 gameplay with this AUG SMG class set on Promenade. Believe it or not, it was on Promenade somehow. So yeah, in today's gameplay I'll be talking about the class set, why I use these attachments, and what makes this AUG so damn good. And obviously you get to see me absolutely stomp on the other team with this class setup. So yeah, let's get right into today's gameplay. Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm just going to gas it straight out of the start, okay? This is an insane class setup, and this is an unbelievable gameplay that you're about to see, okay? Now, if I didn't already spoil it in the intro, whilst also showcasing the class setup that, as you guys know, is the AUG, but it's a little bit different to everyone else's AUG, okay? Everyone else says that you have to run the 5.56 ammo conversion with the AUG, and that's where this class setup and this gameplay is going to prove all those people wrong, okay? You can use the AUG like an SMG, like it's supposed to, you know? This is in the SMG category for a reason, and this thing is a sleeper, okay? So this class setup that I'm going to talk about and discuss, that you saw in the intro, is unbelievable, okay? Make sure you are using this. If this gameplay, which is a 104, that's right, 104 and 7 gameplay on Promenade of all things. To put that in perspective, first of all, this is my best gameplay in the entire Modern Warfare with this class set. If that doesn't really speak volumes, I don't know what does. You know, I've used guns like the MP5, the M4, the GRAW, you name it, I've used it, I've done it, and I've got nowhere near close enough to a gameplay like this, and on Promenade. You know, you guys saw my video a couple of days ago about Promenade. I don't like this map. I don't even think SMGs are viable in this map. I feel like this is an AR LMG sniper heaven, you know? There should be no way that I should be able to dominate on this map with this SMG. But somehow, some way, and I think it gives credit to the SMG, this AUG SMG class setup. I think this gives massive credit to how good this class setup is. As you can see, the kill time on this thing is pretty good. And I'm going to talk about how to use this thing, because there is a particular playstyle. You can't just like go up to everyone and just shoot, kill, you know, move on to the next step, shoot, kill. There's a bit of a playstyle to this. There's a specific way you have to use this. But this class setup is unbelievable, and you saw from the intro what my class setup is, and here, in this part of the gameplay, or part of the video, I'm going to be talking about my class setup, and what makes this class setup good, like so insane, and why I chose these attachments. So, let's begin. First of all, it was my plan in this video to not use the 5.56 ammo. So I'm not saying the 5.56 ammo conversion is not good, because it is a very good attachment on the AUG. Everyone says that you have to run it. But I wanted to prove people wrong. I wanted to showcase that the AUG is a fantastic SMG and that you don't have to run the 5.56 ammo conversion. So that's what this class setup was all about. This is why I'm making this video. And this is why I attempted to do this, but it became something much more than I thought it would be. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about the class setup. So let's start with the muzzle. You guys know one of my favorite things to do in this game is to pick a muzzle. I always pick one. It's either the monolithic or it's the compensator. In today's video, or today's class setup, we went with the compensator. Why did we do that? To reduce the vertical recoil, okay? Because there's another attachment in the underbarrel section that, yes, you can use the Merc foregrip, but I use something a little bit different for certain reasons, and I'll explain that as I go through the class setup. But the compensator to reduce the vertical recoil. I did try the monolithic suppressor, which is very nice to be silent and be off the radar and everything, but the one problem I had with it, it was just a little bit too slow. And since we're using this like an SMG, the monolithic suppressor was just too slow for me. It didn't help out in those close quarter situations, and it didn't make it, I didn't think it made too much of a difference. So I went with the compensator, vertical recoil reduced, fantastic attachment as always. Aim down, sight speed and aiming stability as cons, don't worry, you know what I do with the problems, well, the negatives of these attachments. I always fix them by using other attachments. And moving on next, what we got to do next is, even though this is an SMG build, we need a little bit more damage, okay? The base AUG's damage as an SMG without 5.56 rounds isn't the best. So the best way to do that is to stick on the massive 622mm long barrel. That's right. It gives you the most damage, better bullet velocity, and better recoil control, which is all massive benefits to the AUG. And the negatives are the aim down sight speed and movement speed. I did try the other barrels as well. I tried the extended barrel and I tried the lightweight barrel. There just wasn't enough damage, okay? For those medium gunfights, you know, those medium range gunfights, you just need that little bit more damage. And luckily enough, the 622mm long barrel does just give you enough damage to be able to win those gunfights against the M4, against the Graw, against whatever it may be these people are using. It gives you that slight chance. With the other two barrels, I would say you have next to no chance of winning those gunfights. So yeah, definitely stick on the 622mm long barrel. Fantastic attachment. Makes this AUG SMG build more competitive at the medium range. You know, at short range, it's a bit of a beast. You know, kills in like 3 to 4 shots if you can sneak a little headshot in there. But at those medium ranges and possibly even longer ranges, if you're feeling a bit risky, if you're taking those, you know, shots that you shouldn't be taking, but you're having some good shots, you know, you're playing well, and you feel like taking those long shots, you want as much damage as possible to take over those ranges, and the 622mm long barrel will do that for you, so definitely use that. Next up, laser. Now, the reason I went for a laser is because it's basically a choice between the two, but I would definitely recommend using the laser over this. I needed something to make the aim down sight speed a lot faster, and unfortunately on the AUG you don't get attachments like no stock on that. Now no stock obviously has like more recoil and stuff now, so it's not really that great of an option anyway, but the AUG doesn't have that option. There is no stock attachment, so I needed something else to give myself a better aim down sight speed, a better sprint fire speed, etc. And the way I went for that is I went with the tac laser. Now obviously that doesn't actually do my sprint to fire speed, but as long as you position yourself well and remember not to go running in like a headless chicken and sprinting around corners and stuff, and make sure to prepare yourself for gunfights, you don't really need to sprint, you know, be able to sprint to fire very quickly, especially as it's an SMG, you know, it has a good sprint to fire speed already. So I went with the tac laser for all the benefits. You know, this is a strictly benefits only laser, which is aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. Massive, all massive things that help with the AUG to be a fantastic SMG. Aim down sight speed, obviously that's going to be a big bonus on SMG. You want to be making sure that you're aiming down sight super quickly, and this laser does that for you. Next up, aiming stability. What this means is this is the sway of the gun. This means you're going to be able to hit those first shots accurately and not miss. You know, you're going to be able to put the eye, especially with this variant. So I am using a variant, I believe it's called the Leecher variant, and it has this glorious iron sight. This is a fantastic iron sight, and that's why I'm not using any like red dot sights or anything on this, because I do have this version of the gun unlocked. I do believe it's from the battle pass, maybe. I'm not quite sure on that, so correct me if I'm wrong. But the Leecher variant has fantastic iron sight, so there is no need for a sight on this. And having better aiming stability just means the gun's not going to sway as much. And as you can see, we're putting shots down range, we're putting shots in behind people. I know I'm pulled out the pocket pistols, but those are just my little, I don't know, nifty little weapons to use when I'm in a close quarters situation, and then let's say I run out of bullets or something. And then finally you have the aim walking steadiness. Now I'm going to be honest, again, this isn't something that I notice too much, but a benefit is a benefit. And the cons are laserable, visible to enemies, but I'm going to be honest, it's an SMG. As long as you're, you know, going about your business quickly, aiming down sight quickly, you know, going from one place to another, not aiming down sight for so long that people can see your laser, this is going to be perfectly right. And as you can see, you can probably, you know, see that people can't actually see your laser very well, especially on maps like this in the broad daylight. It's a little bit different in indoor situations. You know, I'm sure the lasers do stick out quite well for the opponents, but on a map like Promenade, the laser's not going to be visible, and as you can see, not many people are actually prepared for me to come sprinting like round the corner, charging at them, because they're not seeing my laser. They're just not seeing it. So yeah, definitely use the tac laser. Fantastic attachment. Basically an all benefits attachment with no negatives in my opinion. Next up, underbarrel. Now I discussed this a little bit at the start, which was the Merc foregrip. You could easily go for the Merc foregrip for the vertical recoil, but we went with the compensator because it's a great attachment. But to keep the speed going, to keep the ability to aim down sight fast, and to be able to keep my aim, how would I put it, or deal with a specific recoil pattern that is quite difficult to deal with, which is horizontal recoil. And the only few attachments to deal with that on this are the tactical foregrip and the commander foregrip. Yes, the ranger foregrip does as well, but it's just too slow. You know, I wouldn't use the ranger foregrip. Yes, it does recoil control and aiming stability, but it's just too slow. But the commando foregrip has recoil stabilization and aiming stability. And what this does is make sure your recoil doesn't go flying up in the air. And not only that, this helps to keep your horizontal recoil in check. You know, this is the recoil that goes side to side, not your vertical recoil. The vertical recoil is the recoil that goes straight up, which is easy to control. All you have to do is pull down on the controller. But if you use the commando foregrip, this deals with your horizontal recoil, and this is your side to side recoil, and this is recoil that is pretty much almost uncontrollable, you know, and you want to keep that in check. A lot of times you're going to try and control that recoil. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. But if you make the gun basically just shoot straight up, that's easy recoil to control, and that's what we're doing here with the commando foregrip. We're making sure that we control that horizontal recoil, making sure it doesn't go flying off to the right or flying off to the left, whatever the recoil pattern is on this gun. Not too sure, I've never actually shot this gun against the wall, but I just know this is a very easy to control weapon with these two specific attachments, being the commando foregrip and the compensator. The cons being the movement speed, which yes does to slow it down a little bit, but again it's an SMG, it already has tons of movement speed. So it's okay to have a little penalty here and there of losing a little bit of movement speed. I think it's about 1%, 2% that you lose. Not a big deal for an SMG build. And then finally, ammunition. You do start out with only 25 mags. And because I wanted to go against the meta, because I wanted to go against using the 5.56 barrel, which basically makes it an assault rifle, I went with the 32 round mags. You need more ammo in the magazine. This gun shoots quite fast. I wouldn't say incredibly fast, but it's quite fast. Very respectable for an SMG. And you need those 32 rounds. You need those extra 7 rounds. I know some people will be saying it's only an extra 7 rounds, but in different situations you're going to notice yourself missing those extra 7 rounds. You know, 25 bullets is just not enough. So you get the benefit of the 32 round magazine. The cons are the aim down sight speed and movement speed. But again, movement speed, not a problem. It's an SMG. It has tons of movement speed anyway. So you won't notice this. You won't have a problem dealing with this, or it won't really have a negative effect on your playstyle with this SMG. And the aim down sight speed, we've already fixed that with the tac laser, because the tac laser has fantastic aim down sight speed. Like, it makes a big difference. So yeah, that is my incredible AUG straight SMG build. You know, this is a straight up AUG SMG build, not what everyone else does, which is put the 5.56 barrel, which basically turns into an assault rifle. This is a straight up AUG SMG build, and it is unbelievable. You've probably been seeing the gameplay in the background. First of all, I believe I can actually clutch this up for my team. We are quite a bit down. Yes, I don't cap the flags, but me doing this and dominating the map, getting in the streaks that, as you know, I can play in the Promenade game, do kind of like end the game quickly. And luckily, this is one of those games where it didn't end too early. I managed to come in. My team was a little bit down, I believe, and then they pulled out a bit more of a lead. But luckily, I managed to keep the game rolling. We didn't spawn trap them too much, and we didn't like get them stuck at this A flag until about here. But I did call in obviously a gunship and a chopper gunner. But yeah, this AUG SMG build is unbelievable. And to talk about the playstyle of this gun, you've got to use it like an SMG. Like, you cannot be taking those long-range gunfights. I might have done so in this gameplay a few times, but that's because I have a bit of an ego when it comes to challenging people, okay? If you want to be smart, if you want to get your kill streaks, make sure you use this like an SMG, get in people's faces, and get those 3 to 4 shot kills. Try and aim for the head a little bit, because those free shot kills are massive. Like, you're going to be deleting people off the map as long as you can sneak in that one little headshot. This AUG SMG will do the business for you. It is an unbelievably underrated SMG build, because no one uses it as an SMG. Nobody uses this build. I can't believe it when I use this gun. I couldn't believe how good it was. And the gameplay speaks for itself. So I'm going to let this play out. Again, it's our 104. My best gameplay throughout the entire Modern Warfare somehow is with this AUG SMG build. If that doesn't give you the credit or the belief that this class setup is good, I don't know what will. But it's a 104 and 7 AUG SMG best class setup, and I'm going to leave you the rest of the gameplay as I destroy these people with the rest of the gunship, and eventually we do defcon them, we do nuke them basically, and that will end the game. But yeah, try out this class setup, definitely give it a shot. It's a fantastic, underrated AUG SMG build, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe with notifications on. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.